Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Catweazle Daubs. Yes, my paint through series where we're doing Conan miniatures, Conan the board game miniatures. And anybody who's coming into this particular episode is probably thinking, my god, this video is only 10 minutes long. This must be a speed paint. Well, no it isn't, because I've made a ball. Here's Hadrathus, who I did paint, as you can see. It didn't take me 10 minutes. It took me about 2.5 hours to do him. And here you can let's have a quick look at him. Seeing as you're not going to see me paint him, I'll explain that shortly. But yes, this is Hadrathus, and as you can see, he's a sort of priest character. He's out of the Hour of the Dragon, which is really about the only Conan novel. It's the only one that's really long enough to be called a novel. And in it, Conan is the king of Aquilonia, and he loses a battle, and he has to go on the run and regain his throne. An evil sorcerer is raised from the dead called Zaltatun, and he helps a neighbouring country, I can't remember off the top of my head which one, attack Aquilonia, and he defeats Conan, and Conan has to sort of go on the... Conan actually gets captured, and then he has to go on the... he escapes and has to go on the run. And obviously then he schemes to get his throne back from this evil Zaltatun. And Hadrathus is one of the people that helps him. Hadrathus is a priest of Asura, and they're sort of like an underground religion in Aquilonia, because it's pretty much a Mitran realm, Aquilonia, and Asura is they're not exactly an evil religion. They're a sort of neutral religion, and Hadrathus, who's one of the priesthood, he sort of helps Conan to overthrow Zaltatun and get his throne back. And here he is. So the way I painted him was... now, he should have a black cloak. You'll see that this cloak isn't exactly black. It's a very, very dark grey. The reason for that is it just makes it easier to highlight it. Which I've done. So it was a very, very dark grey I used here. Necromancer's Cloak is the army painter paint that I used. And I also did the old blue wash thing, and then I highlighted it with some grey, just to bring out the edge highlights there. And the way that I looked at this was, anybody who's got anything that's black, whether it's a t-shirt, a coat, or whatever the hell it is, it stays black for about, what is it, about 6 months, and then once you've been outside in it a bit, it does fade a little bit, and it does go to a very, very dark grey. So that's what we've done with him. He is travelling with the good old Conan, so his cloak is going to get a little bit way-worn, and it's not going to be exactly black. So that's his cloak, and underneath that he's got your usual sort of priestly vestments. I had a robe here in a sort of darker brown. I used sort of leather brown for that, and I shaded it with dark tone. And underneath there's a sort of undergown that he's got, and that's a slightly lighter brown. I use monster brown for that. And you can see he's got some spangle. There are some keys there. I did those in bronze. It is gold if you actually look at the artwork, but gold keys don't work. Gold is just too soft. Bronze keys work, so I did it in bronze. There's also some other metal bits and bobs that he's got there, but I did do gold for his bangles. He does have some bangles on each wrist, and pretty much like Hadrathus, he's got some like medallions going on. They're sort of like coming down from various bangles. His staff, that I did in I did that in leather brown as well. and did a dark tone on it. It's got a sort of steel spike at the end. I did that in gunmetal because it's going to spend a lot of its time in the dust. So I just didn't think it'd be very shiny. Now at the front here, these sort of curling spikes, a lot of people paint these as metal, but they don't strike me as metal at all. They look like claws to me, or fangs, or horns that he sort of stuck on the end of his staff. So I did them in skeleton bone there. His skin is just on, I paled his skin. I did use barbarian flesh, but I added a bit of white to it to make it a little paler. He is like a priest, spends a lot of his time inside. He's got black hair just inside his hood there. And the most fun I had was painting the actual fire for his fireball there. It was pretty good. I was quite chuffed with that when I was actually recording the footage. Unfortunately you can't see it now, but yeah, it's just a blend. Next to his actual hand it's white, because be like a white hot fireball. And the thing with fire and heat sources, normally what you do is when you're painting a miniature is the recesses are dark, and then as you come out then you go lighter, except for things like light sources, because it's hotter in the middle. So next to his hand, very hot, white hot, then we go into yellow, then we go into an orange, and then we go into red as it sort of cools off as it's coming away from the source of the heat. And then right at the top I did put a bit of shade on, so it looks a little bit smoky. I was quite chuffed with that. So unfortunately you can't see me do it. Why can't you see me do it? Because I'm an idiot. I did all the footage, and it's about 2.5 hours of footage, and I saved it down to my computer, and then I deleted it off my camera here, because it is 2.5 hours is a lot of footage and it uses up a lot of memory. So I deleted it off my camera and I put it onto my computer. This time I cannot blame my computer. It didn't corrupt it, it didn't do anything like that. No, me being a clown just deleted it in error. What had happened is when I saved it down, I overwrote my Hadrathus save from episode 2, and I didn't realise that I'd oversaved Hadrathus. And then I got disturbed, and I spent a couple of hours doing other stuff, and when I came back to it, I booted up my computer. I thought, oh, there's my Hadrathus from last time, I better delete that. So I deleted it. It didn't go into the recycle bin because of the size of the file. I just got a thing up saying this is too large to go in the recycle bin, do you want to delete it? I just press yes like a clown, and then I thought, hang on, where's my Hadrathus save? And then it dawned on me, I'd saved over the previous Hadrathus one and then promptly deleted the whole lot. And that was about 5 days ago. And since then I just wasn't in the mood to do this video until now. I've gone through my change cycle now, I'm fine, and I just thought I'd do a quick video, explain what I've done with the Hadrathus. So even though you can't see it, at least you get to see Hadrathus up close. Did the same thing with the base as with the others, so he's just got some grit on the base. There is like a as part of the model itself, there was a sort of stone that he was stood on. I did that in a dark grey, and then sort of I dry brushed it with a brown, because I wanted that stone to sort of mix in with the grit I put on the base. As you can see, he's got his feet there and his little sandals. I was very pleased with how he came out, and I cannot but apologise for not being able to show you the actual painting of him. But I hope you like the look of him. And these are the 3 heroes that we'll be using in our Conan playthrough. So we've got Hadrathus there, looking mean. Here is Hadrathus from last time, and as you can see, now that the on both of them actually, now that the actual matte varnish has dried. As you can see, it looks a lot better. Hadrathus was looking particularly shiny the end of last episode, if you recall, but now he's fully dried. You can see it looks a lot better with the matte varnish. So very pleased with both of those, and of course not forgetting good old Conan, who's there with him. So these will be the three that will be taking on the what is it, in the clutches of the Picts. So they're all ready, but I've still got a bit of painting to do. Next, we're actually going to do another hero, but this hero isn't going to be involved in the clutches of the Picts. It is Belit here. So I'll try to paint her and not delete the footage of my doing so. So she's next up on the slate. She'll be episode 4. So once again, apologies for being a donut. I think, what's that now? In the last month, I've managed to cock up 2 videos. I've cocked up Hadrathus by deleting the footage, and there was the purge for my Conan Exiles playthrough that got corrupted, and I missed that. So I'm not having a good I'm not having a good couple of weeks as far as making content is concerned. But I hope you're all keeping safe. And oh, let's put Hadrathus back here, so at least you've got something to look at while I finish off this video. Yep, so I hope you're all keeping safe. You're all following your social distancing rules. I am. I'm still in work. I'm still doing shifts. So it'll be a couple of days before I try and paint Belit and actually upload it. And hopefully I'll be able to do that. So, yes, apologies. But Hadrathus did come out rather well. And I've took you through who he is and what actual paints and stuff that are used here, and what I was attempting to do. I hope you like Hadrathus. Apologies for this not being a proper painting video, and that's it from me. So I hope to see you next time for a proper video. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, saying toodaloo.